Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
What is up everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be going through my team selection ahead of Game Week 28. Thankfully Game Week 27 turned out to be a great week for me after a rocky start, as I finished the game week with a strong green arrow up to 174k, which was a rise of about 100k this week. This rank rise feels even more better having not bench boosted in Game Week 27 in order to prioritise the Game Week 29 bench boost. Game Week 28 is bound to be an interesting game week with teams such as City, United and Brighton all blanking this week. If you do find this video helpful then please do drop it a like, subscribe to the channel, also let me know down in the comments below what your plans are ahead of Game Week 28, and without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with my goalkeeper for Game Week 28, we have Kepa, who faces off against Everton at Stamford Bridge. Having benched Kepa in Game Week 27, I was relieved to see him not keep a clean sheet as Chelsea conceded 1 goal to Leicester in what turned out to be a dominant 3-1 win over the Foxes. Having been previously concerned about Chelsea's defensive stability due to the injury picked up by Thiago Silva, I'm now even more confident in Kepa's ability to keep clean sheets as Chelsea look on fine form currently. The return of Wesley Fofana, Reece James and Ben Chilwell to the starting lineup has seen Chelsea win their last 3 games in all competitions whilst only conceding 1 goal. Chelsea also have a 52% chance of keeping a clean sheet this week, so Kepa is preferred to Raya, who faces Leicester in what could be a difficult fixture. Moving on to the back line for this week, we line up with a back 4 of Botman, Trippier, Pinnock and Zinchenko. Pinnock yet again proved himself in this team as he returned with a clean sheet in Brentford's second game of Game Week 27. Whilst Leicester at home could be a difficult fixture, Brentford have shown real quality at home this season and could be hard to break down. Trippier and Botman start together this week after a disappointment in Game Week 27, which saw them concede against a very poor Wolves side. Whilst Trippier did get an assist in Game Week 27, it was also his mistake against Wolves which ultimately led to them conceding. Game Week 27 saw the lowest effective ownership for Trippier since the start of the season, with 72.7% of managers playing him this game week. Whilst his assist did give him a small rank boost, it still wasn't enough to make up for the clean sheet wipe. One of the only mistakes I made in Game Week 27 was to bench Zinchenko against Fulham in what turned out to be an easy 3 points and a clean sheet for Arsenal. With Arsenal facing off against a Crystal Palace team who have only managed 1 shot on target in their last 3 games, I'm hoping that Zinchenko can return with another clean sheet. The midfield for this week is stripped bare as Saka and Maddison are the only 2 midfield players who have a fixture this week. Both Saka and Maddison have good fixtures this week as they face off against Crystal Palace and Brentford respectively. However, my patience is starting to run thin with Saka, who has not managed to return since I brought him in Game Week 26. Prior to me owning Saka, he was in fine form and was by far Arsenal's best attacker. However, since Game Week 26 he has not returned, whilst Martinelli and Odegaard have continued to score goals and assists. Admittedly, going for Saka on my Game Week 26 wildcard instead of Odegaard and Martinelli may have been a mistake on my part, but hopefully Saka can finally pay back my trust in him with a return against a poor Palace side. Whilst Maddison also has not returned since I brought him in, I'm not really concerned about this. One of the main reasons as to why I brought Maddison in on my wildcard was due to him having a fixture in Game Week 28 whilst also doubling in Game Week 29. The next 2 game weeks is therefore when I will judge Maddison's performance in my team. Whilst Leicester do face off against Brentford this week in what could prove to be a difficult fixture due to Brighton's defensive stability at home this season, I'm confident that Maddison will eventually start getting returns whilst in my team as he has continued to show his quality even without getting returns. Maddison still remains Leicester's most dangerous player and also one of the most talented players in the league. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before the returns start rolling in. Lastly, the attack for Game Week 28 sees Kane, Haaland and Tony line up together for the 3rd week in a row. Captaining Tony in Game Week 27 turned out to be the right decision as he outscored Matoma, March and McAllister after having blanked in his first game of the double game week. Tony's value cannot be emphasised enough and in many ways could be compared to that of Kane due to his consistent returns every week. Meanwhile, Kane faces Southampton away after his 13-point haul against a Forest side which saw him score 2 goals and get all 3 bonus points in that fixture. Whilst Spurs are extremely hard to predict, I'm confident that Southampton should be an easy fixture for Kane, who we should expect to get at least 1 return. One of the benefits of owning Kane is that he always seems to be involved in any goal that Spurs score, whether it's an assist or his own goal. This is why he's such a vital FPL asset to own. Haaland makes the 11 this week, but only as a placeholder for the player who I'll discuss in my transfer plans section. On the bench for Game Week 28 we have Raya, Estepinha, March and Rashford. The bench for Game Week 28 is pretty self-explanatory, with all 3 of my outfield players not having a fixture this week. I'm expecting a lot of managers to free hit this week in order to field 11 players and have a full bench for Game Week 28. However, when I decided to wildcard in Game Week 26, I made sure to plan ahead for Game Week 28 in order to ensure I could field at least 10 players after having made 1 transfer. This has allowed me to save the free hit chips for the later game weeks. Moving on to my transfer plans for this week, we can see that I've decided to move Erling Haaland out in order to bring in Ollie Watkins, who faces Bournemouth at home in Game Week 28 and then Chelsea and Leicester in a double Game Week 29. The decision to remove Haaland hasn't been an easy one, as doing so has forced me to make sure I'm able to bring him back into the team in Game Week 30 ahead of City's fixture against Southampton. However, one of the main reasons as to why I'm moving Haaland out this week is due to him having a blank fixture in Game Week 28 and then facing Liverpool in Game Week 29. Whilst some may argue that City facing off against Liverpool in Game Week 29 is a good fixture for Haaland due to Liverpool's poor form recently, I would argue that Watkins having 3 fixtures in the space that Haaland has 1 makes Watkins a far better player to own over the next 2 weeks with a much better upside too. Bringing in Watkins this week allows me to have an extra player playing in this blank game week and also an extra fixture in Game Week 29 when I plan to bench boost. The Haaland to Watkins move is the best move for my team in its current state. That's going to do it for this week's team selection video. If you did find the video helpful, then please do drop it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below in the comments what your plans are ahead of Game Week 28. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter at fplfatherted, where I'll be posting my final team ahead of the game week. Also make sure to tune into the deadline stream on Friday for some last minute tinkering. Thanks for watching and good luck this game week.